pío los pajarillos se oyen cantar, alaban a Dios con sus cantos en pío al madrugar. Las flores bonitas reflejan el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Lucero brillante parece un diamante pareciendo su luz. Los cielos parecen, el mundo amanece, qué grande es Jesús. Cada criatura refleja el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Nace un niño con tanto cariño, lo vienen a ver. Su cara inocente que toda la gente podría comprender. En este regalo refleja el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Pío, pío, los pajarillos se oyen cantar, alaban a Dios con sus cantos en pío al madrugar. Las flores bonitas reflejan el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. eran 100 ovejas que había en el rebaño, eran 100 ovejas que amante cuidó, pero en una tarde al contarlas las 99 dejó en el abrigo vagando en el mundo, sin Dios y sin fe. Las 99 dejo en el aprisco y por la montaña a buscarla fue. La encontró gimiendo, temblando de frío, curó sus heridas, la tomó en sus brazos y al redil volvió. Eran 100 ovejas.
A little girl is crying for affection. A You've never trusted like this before. You've heard him knocking at your heart's door. He whispered your name and you answered the call. Now tears of joy fall like rain. They seem to wash away every fear. You feel God's presence so very near. Somehow you know that you're not the same. And a brand new life is waiting for you, starting here, starting now. From this moment on, from here to forever, He will carry you safe inside His love. He has promised you He'll never forsake you. You'll never be alone from this moment on. Tomorrow's questions may come. Those same old questions, those same old doubts. Don't let uncertainty pull you down. God will complete what He has begun. And a brand new life is waiting for you, starting here, starting now. From this moment on, from here to forever, He will carry you safe inside His love. He has promised you He'll never forsake you. You'll never be alone from this moment on. From this moment on, from here to forever, He will be your strength when life's troubles come. He will be your joy in times of sorrow. You'll never be alone from this moment on. This world may pass away, but that won't separate you from His love. From this moment on, from here to forever, He will carry you safe inside His love. He has promised you He'll never forsake you. You'll never be alone from this moment on. From this moment on, from here to forever, He will be your strength when life's troubles come. He will be your joy in times of sorrow. You'll never be alone from this moment on. From this moment on. From this moment on. The timeless sea, earth and heaven will pass away. It's not a dream. God will make all things new that day. Gone is the curse from which I stumbled and fell. Evil is banished to eternal hell. the praises to Christ our King. Slowly the names from the book are read. I know the King, so there's no need to dread. No more night and no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. See over there's a mansion prepared for me, where we will live with my Savior eternally. No more night and no more pain, no more tears, never crying again, and praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb. We will live in the light of the risen
God sent his son, they called him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lived. Because he lived, I can face tomorrow. pío, los pajarillos se oyen cantar. Alaban a Dios con sus cantos, el pío al madrugar. Las flores bonitas reflejan el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Lucero brillante parece un diamante pareciendo su luz. Los cielos parecen, el mundo amanece, qué grande es Jesús. Cada criatura refleja el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Nace un niño con tanto cariño, lo vienen a ver. Su cara inocente que toda la gente podría comprender. En este regalo refleja el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Pío, pío, los pajarillos se oyen cantar. Alaban a Dios con sus cantos, en pío al madrugar. Las flores bonitas reflejan el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios. Qué lindo es el mundo, qué grande el amor de Dios.
want to thank you guys for coming out tonight to show respects to my dad. A little soon for us, but only God knows what he's doing, so put it in his hands. We want to let you guys know the programs that we handed out for tomorrow's service. We just wanted to give them to anybody today that maybe wanted to take one, but they're actually for tomorrow's service, so we have more tomorrow. We're going to open up this time to anybody that wants to come up and maybe share a story, experience they maybe had with my dad. But we're going to start out with these guys. My dad used to love singing. That was one of his favorite things. He taught him all kinds of little songs, and he just wanted him to sing to him. It didn't matter day, night, whenever. And he did to us when we were little, but we weren't brave enough to come up and do our songs. So the grandchildren decided that they would do it. Cesar and Jules and chickened out. But these guys want to share a couple songs that my dad used to sing with them or enjoyed them singing to him. Are you guys going to hold this, or are you guys going to? Okay, Jamie.
No.
Okay, I'll hold it.
No,
Okay,
no.
it's okay. Okay. Who's going to say 1, 2, 3?
No, I'm saying hi, my name is Jocelyn first. Hi, my name is Jocelyn.
Hi, my name is Ulises.
Hi, my name is Jabri.
You guys ready? Okay. Guys, stop. Be serious.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Pajarito muy feliz, canta presalza al Señor. Se levanta con el sol, canta, canta, canta sin cesar. Canta feliz, shibidi contento.
Ready?
Wait, no, we're singing La Bada now, and we're not singing. Let's just sing. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Get the boom, 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 get the pom, 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 E-I-E-I-O.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Alabaré, alabaré, alabaré a mi Señor.
Good job. Of course, the old McDonald was his made-up version because he didn't know the words, so he just put in some beats instead. I'm going to try to say a little something first. If not, I'm going to sit down and I'll try it tomorrow. I just want to share a story about my dad when I was younger. I've told a few of my friends because he had to put me in my place a couple times, but when I was maybe like 13, I thought I was pretty tough. I already almost was as big as him, so I decided I wanted to put on the gloves with him. He didn't really give me a chance at all. I thought I was going to do good. I stood in front of him. He kind of just ducked a little bit, and he punched me right in my stomach, knocked my breath out. I blacked out. I woke up. My mom was yelling at him. He was laughing, and that was that. So a year later, I thought I was better because I've been practicing. The older cousins, they make you put them on the gloves. They beat you up a little bit so they can get practice. So I thought I could get him this time. I was bigger. I was about as bigger than him, and I did do better this time. I hit him a few times. I actually think I hit him pretty hard because after that, his eyes lit up, and he hit me so hard that I knocked me out. So I decided then that I wasn't ever going to test him again. I learned my lesson. But the better lessons I learned were later on. We had our first son a couple years after, and when I had my own son, is when I realized how amazing he actually was. How much sacrifice that he always did for us. How much he put his own things to the side. It's hard to be a parent. It's one of the hardest jobs you can have. And it's hard because every single kid is different. You can't parent them the same. My sisters are both beautiful, strong women, but they're way different. I'm the perfect in between. But he always made us feel loved. As a good parent, or again, this is an opinion, we always think we love our children so much, but I always ask my kids, do you know I love you? Because what we think we do and what they actually feel is two different things. And I know my dad loved me. I know my dad would do anything for me. From the beginning when I was born till the day he passed away, he would drop anything to do anything for me or for either of my sisters. It didn't matter what. It didn't matter what he was doing. He'd drop it, and he'll come do it for us. He's going to be remembered, and I'll do my best to keep the promise I made to him. I told him I'd take care of my sister, so I'm going to do it, or else I'm not Junior Coria. No, I'm not Jorge Coria if I don't keep my promise, so I'm going to do it. Thank you, guys.
was beautiful, Theo Jr., that was beautiful. I'm super nervous, so bear with me. My name is Victor Coria. I'm Jorge's most handsome and funniest nephew. I just want to just tell him how much I appreciate him for everything he's done for me and my family. He never gave up on me, my wife, or my kids, even when I did. It's truly heartbreaking, you know. It's kind of hard to. I love you, Tio Jorge, with all my heart, man.
My name is Lorraine, and Jorge was my brother-in-law. The first time I met Jorge was in 1970. The first thing I thought, oh my God, another nutty brother. That's all I needed. The first time I stood out there for 6 months, Beto had come back to California, and I stood with the whole family. And it was kind of like Herminia and Ricardo had raised us all, because we were all pretty much about the same age. But Jorge, he just always seemed to be there. Beto used to say, Jorge's just using you. I go, no, he's not. He's my friend. He goes, no, Lorraine, he's using you. He'd show me how to wait for the mailman when Beto would send us my check for the month. He'd take me to the mercado. He'd take me to the bank. And he always knew that I was going to give him something. Here's 20 pesos or something like that. Go spend it on what you wanted. He'd get in trouble, and then after a while, I realized, you are using me. But he was still my friend. And we kind of like withdrew from each other for a while because he got into the church, and we would just all go do soccer. And then after a while, we bought our lot at Bear Lake, and he decided him and Gail were going to do the same. So we got kind of close again. The days that he wasn't up there with Gail, I used to tell Humberto, I said, go call Jorge, tell him to come and eat breakfast. Jorge used to say, don't worry about me. He goes, just worry about Beto. I go, no, Jorge. I says, where we eat, you're going to eat the same thing. And he'd call and he'd say, well, what are you making? And I said, I'll make your chilaquiles for you, Jorge. He goes, okay, I'll be there in 2 seconds. And it was kind of weird because, like, the days that he was out there, he'd be out there cutting grass, and he had these huge earphones on his head. And all of a sudden, I tell Humberto, I says, Beto, listen to what Jorge's doing out there. He goes, he's cutting the grass. I go, no, he is singing at the top of his lungs. You can just hear him just like really loudly singing. I says, oh my gosh, he's crazy. But just some of the things that he's done for the whole family. Ricardo and Herminia, they just did an awesome job on all of their kids. And him, with all three of you guys, you, Crystal, Katrina, and his grandkids, he's just done an awesome, awesome job. And he knows, both him and Gail, that he will never have to worry about you guys. Because he knows that you guys are there, and you guys are going to do a good job, and you guys are going to get along just fine. But just don't forget, we'll still be here for you guys. One thing that Beto used to always tell Jorge, because he used to always have the habit, Beto, do you have a screw? Beto, do you have a nail? And Beto used to tell him, Jorge, what are you going to do when your little brother goes? But now Beto says, Jorge, What am I going to do now that my big brother's gone? But we'll get through this because we're a very strong family. And we can do this all together. Just don't forget we love you guys. Okay?
My name's Irene Coria. We're related with Jorge. I remember one time we were at our grandkids' basketball game. He called us and asked us if we wanted a goat. He says because it's getting too big for their house, so for us, if we could take it. So we took it. And I always told Gail to come, and she can always come and visit it. We named him Panchito. Panchito's a wild one because he hurts my other baby goats. He won't leave her alone. But anyway, Jorge would come over and he would visit. And they would go out there, him and Gail, or Katrina would go out there and sit there and watch and play with the goat. And one day he came and I looked at him. I asked him, "Do you really like purple?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "Why?" I says, "Because you got a purple jacket on." And it was really tight. And I said, "You just want to show your muscles or something?" He looked at, "Oh, I didn't notice. I just grabbed it. It's Gail's jacket." So he untied it, unzipped it, and turned around and says,
You gotta imagine though, first of all, my mom is small, she's little, and he was like shoved into this jacket and he was like all tight in it. The sleeves are this short and he had no clue that he had it on the whole time until she mentioned it to him. And then he was like,
"Oh, heck."
"No, it's mine." "Oh, it's not."
So he unzipped it and he got bigger. But I just want to say that I loved him. I loved them both, and I love you all. We'll miss him, but in spirit, he'll be there in our hearts. I just want to share the times that he was there at the house. He always came and visited us. So I say, you guys, my house is there for you guys too. Hey, if you want, you can come play with the goat. I love you guys.
My name is Arturo. I grew up with Jorge for many moons ago, many years. I can tell you a lot of stories when we first started running around and playing soccer. I mean, we would go from Logan and then up to towards Jackson Hole out there, and then all the way out down to Provo and playing some really tough teams. And I was very young, and Jorge, Jose, and Humberto, they toughened me up a little bit with some encouraging words. I won't repeat them because they're not for this place, but it was pretty awesome. I can tell you the stories about Jorge, that he is a very strong man, a very kind person, and he was always thinking of others. not just of himself. When we first met, like I said, I was really young, and we got into a little trouble, and we got to taste a little bit as to what the world has to offer. And then after knowing a little bit about the Bible and a little bit about religion, we became brothers in the same belief and the same faith. And I can tell you that the effort that he put on playing soccer, it was the same effort that he put on his religion, in his church, in his singing, in his going out and giving witness. The years passed, and we used to go out and do a lot of things for the church, in gathering and going out and soliciting and giving out literature all throughout Ogden. We used to have a phone book that we made ourselves as to who we gave the literature to, and names and addresses, and if they were black, blue, pink, or yellow, if they speak Spanish, Russian, or Chinese. We made a really nice phone book, and we used to go and deliver literature to them. It was fun going out and going out with Jorge and the family. When I first met him, it was only Crystal in the family, and then came Katrina and then Junior, and as you can tell, we grew up for many, many years ago. Here in the last few years, him and Gail came and asked me, it was Jorge who asked me for some advice. He goes, man, we're just tired of doing all this work and we see nothing happen. What do you think we should do? I says, well, take something that you can see happen. Take a small project and see it go through, and then get as much as you can out of it, and then go and pick up another small project. He goes, oh, okay. So he left, and a week later he comes back and he goes, we're going to build a church. I'm like, what? You see, he was going to take a small project that you can see through. But anyways, the church that he started, that him and Gail started, is still going on downstairs. They call that a bilingual church, and it's still going on. That's the kind of effort that he put into his work. A small task was no task, and a big task was a small task for him. Very, very, very kind-hearted man. I will miss him very much.
Bueno, traigo traductora aquí, porque somos una familia bilingüe, y yo quiero que todos entiendan. Mi hermano era un hombre enamorado de Dios. No sirve. Ahora sí.
My brother was in love with God.
Hace más de 30 años,
More than 30 years ago,
Dios lo encontró.
God found him.
A los que lo conocen antes de que antes de que Dios lo encontrara.
Those of you who know him from before he became a Christian.
Mi hermano era un hombre valiente, no le tenía miedo a nada.
He was very courageous and he was never afraid of anything.
Pero estaba enamorado, estaba 30 años enamorado de Jesús.
For 30 years he was in love with
Él
God.
era el cabecilla espiritual de la familia.
He was the spiritual head of the family.
Porque cada que nos juntábamos,
Because whenever we got together,
él es el que se ponía a hablar, el que oraba por todos nosotros.
he was the one that would pray for all of us.
Oraba por cada que la familia se juntaba.
Whenever the family got together.
Yo no quiero jugar con Dios no más,
I don't want to play with God anymore.
porque ahora es Él,
Because right now it's him.
mañana voy a ser yo o no sé,
But tomorrow it might be me, or we don't know, any of us.
a lo mejor, no sé, el Junior va a estar acá orando por mí.
Junior's
Yo voy a
gonna be
estar ahí.
praying for me, maybe, and I might be
Yo
in there.
quiero enamorarme como Él,
I want
Mi
to fall in
hermano era un
love.
hombre valiente que ahora no, ahora esta no fue la excepción.
And this time it wasn't the exception.
Encaró.
He
Yo
faced it.
le estaba platicando a mi hermano Humberto que hace poco
I was talking to
estuvimos
my
hablando
brother
y dije,
Humberto,
le dije, yo creo que
and I told him,
mi hermano, Jorge, mi hermano,
I think my brother Jorge,
dice, yo creo que él se puso a hablar con Dios.
he had a conversation with God,
Y le dijo,
and he told him,
estoy enfermo aquí,
I'm sick here in bed,
pero si tú quieres sanarme, tú puedes hacerlo.
and if you want to heal me, Lord, you
Pero
can.
si no,
But if you don't want to heal me,
si era hombre, mi hermano era hombre valiente, fuerte,
he was courageous and he
y
was
no le
strong,
tenía miedo a nada, y la muerte no fue la excepción.
and he wasn't afraid of anything, and death was not an exception.
Yo